Hello everybody, my name is Edson and welcome to a brand new Rambling with Edson. If you guys don't know what this series is, you should by now, but to sum it up, it's basically where I sit in front of a mic and talk. That's it. I don't play a game while I'm doing it, I don't have any other ulterior motive, I don't have any timer, I just have a list of topics and I just ramble until I've talked about those topics as a bit of an update video for you guys, and this is intended to be an audio only thing. If you guys do want to watch the video, there is some form of a game or something in the background to entertain your eyeballs, but I'm here to entertain your earballs. So yes, I'm going to talk about a few things this week, which is productivity, freelance, and health. So to give you guys a bit more of a sort of rundown of what we're going to talk about, I'm going to talk about productivity just generally in life, with a few things I'm going to give sort of references to YouTube, to my part-time job, to my freelance work. I'm going to also talk about my freelance work and what I actually do, because not many people actually know. I'm not going to talk about what I do in my part-time job, because if I did, people would know how I work, and I don't really want to do that. And I'm also going to talk about my health, give you guys a bit of an update, something that I did say I was going to do, but I haven't done yet. It sort of links back to a couple of vlogs we've done over the past month or so, and also we've brushed upon it in previous ramblings as well. So I thought I'd update you guys on that. So to start off with, I'm going to talk about my productivity. And my productivity is very high at the minute, I feel like. I mean, it's hard to say because you can't really say, yes, my productivity is high, because it's sort of subject to opinion, I would say. Even in the case of just myself looking at how productive I think I am, it's very much subject to opinion. I would like to think I am classed as a productive person. Some people may not think that. I'm sure certain people would probably not think that, but I've been, compared to me of the past, me of a year ago, me of 2 years ago, I'm a very productive person now. I get stuff done during the days, and I feel like I've got goals and what I want to achieve in life, and I feel like I know how to get there now. There's a couple of things, a couple of bumps, and a couple of big life things that are sort of holding a few of them back, but it is what it is, and it will either work itself out, I hope, or I don't know. But either way, yes, my productivity at the minute, I'm going to sort of like relate it back to YouTube work and all of that. So if you guys don't know, I have 3 jobs. I have 3 sources of income. I do this YouTube and Twitch thing. As you guys know, I do make a little bit off YouTube. The main bulk of anything that I earn on YouTube and Twitch comes from Twitch and Patreon. Patreon, I would say, links to both YouTube and Twitch, but obviously through Twitch donations and all of that stuff, I do make. I don't really want to disclose exactly how much I've made on YouTube and Twitch, but it's enough to class it as as a second income or third income, because I have 3. So yeah, that's that. And I honestly can't thank you all enough that I'm now in a position where I can actually make some form of a substantial, well, not substantial, but a noticeable amount of money from YouTube and Twitch for doing something that, quite honestly, I would be doing even if I wasn't making any money off it. The fact that I can actually make a little bit of money off something, a hobby of mine, is crazy to me. So it's really nice to be able to do, and I love the fact that I can continue to do this, and I will continue to do this because it's so much fun. My freelance work, I'm a freelance graphic designer. I graduated from university a few years back, and I specialised. I studied digital media design in college, and in the second year I basically specialised in one area, even though it doesn't say that on the degree or the certification. I specialised in branding and advertising. All of my final projects in the second year of college were branding and advertising. Then in university, I did digital media design, where we again learned so many different subjects But in the second and third years, I specialised in branding and advertising, and I do actually have like the certification to say that I specialised in branding and advertising. So I'm a freelance graphic designer that specialises in branding and advertising. Dumbed down, what that means is I create logos and I create purdy pictures and advertising campaigns. I can be working with a company at any really stage. Like, they could be a company that's been around for 10, 20, 30, hundreds of years. They may want a rebrand. That's where I would come in. They may want brand guidelines being written up for a new rebrand. I can do that. There may be a new company that's starting up that wants a complete brand design, which involves brand guidelines, the branding, all of the small assets that go with it. I can do that. There may be a company that already has an amazing brand and a brand that they're happy with and want to continue using, but they want to create an advertising campaign. I can do anything from the theory to the implementation to the design to the actual getting the stuff done of the advertising campaign, and I get hired for any of those that I've just listed in a variety of different ways. And it's interesting because I go from one project to another, not knowing what the next project's going to be, not knowing who I'm going to be working with, what sort of company, what sort of client, what people I'm going to be dealing with, and it's a fun time. But I would say, as much as I make, I'll be quite honest, as much as I make on YouTube, I probably make about the same. As much as I make on YouTube and Twitch, I probably make the same in my freelance graphic design, which is not as much as I make in my part-time job. So my part-time job is classed as my main source of income, and my part-time job, I work anywhere from 16 to 20 hours a week. And then on top of that, obviously, so how much I would be earning in a 16 to 20 hour a week contract, I mean, I could say how much I'm on, but like, you guys could probably work out then. But I earn less in combined YouTube and Twitch and freelance graphic design. I earn around the same, I would say, as my 20-hour a week contract. And obviously 3 sources of income, 2 of which come in can come in at any point, at any time, randomly. Some of it can come in big chunks, some of it can come in small chunks. So it's a very unstable income, but the income is definitely there. Like, if you take the average, like every 3 months or something, like how much has been given, like each 3 months, it will be roughly the same. Like, it's the average income is there, but you never know when the next bits come in, sort of thing. So you need to be very good with your money, and I am really good at budgeting and knowing like to get over rough spots and stuff like that. But I'm very motivated at the minute to continue doing these 3 things, but I do want to move away from the part-time job. And you might ask why. Why do I want to move away from the income that is the only income that's solid, that is guaranteed, and is contracted? It's there, like that 20 hours, 16 to 20 hours a week. I always get that. I always get a minimum of 16. Sometimes I get 20. Sometimes I get a little bit more if I can swindle a little bit of overtime and persuade a few people to give me some shifts if I can. That's guaranteed, and that's the only income I've got at the minute that is guaranteed, because suddenly 0 people could watch my streams, 0 people could donate to me, 0 people could become Patreons, and 0 people could watch my YouTube videos. No one could want to get a design from me ever again in my entire life. It's a possibility that could happen. I don't think it will. I hope it doesn't, but it's a possibility that could happen. It's a unstable income. And the reason that I want to move away from the one stable income that I've got is because I want to actually move into a full-time job. Now, this is quite interesting because I don't know. I honestly don't know if moving into a full-time job in graphic design is something that I want to do. Now, that may sound weird because I went to university, studied this, and you would normally think if you're going to university for something, you normally want to do that full-time for the rest of your life. The only way I would want to do, or I would want to be a graphic designer for the rest of my life, as a full-time graphic designer would be if I did it freelance. I honestly don't think working in a company is for me in graphic design. I've done internships; they're good, but there's a lot of varying factors that can really mess you up in a creative environment. And freelance is definitely the way I would want to go. So it's definitely the way that I think I want to go. The same goes with YouTube and Twitch will always be something that I do just generally, just as a hobby, just in my own time. So that's not really something that I could get into a company for as such. So it leaves so I still want to do those two things. I still want to be a freelance graphic designer. I still want to do YouTube and Twitch and all of that. But I want to get a full-time job that's stable, that is 40 hours a week, even if it's not something that I want to do for the rest of my life, even if it's something that, let's say, I'm saying, right, I'll apply for this full-time job. Not something I want to do for the foreseeable future, but it's something that I'm going to do for the next, let's say, 2 years. And over those 2 years, I'm going to do these things. I'm going to move house. I'm going to basically have the income to be able to support myself just by myself. I'll have the income to start saving for various things. I'll have I can then if I get a full-time job, I can still do all of the things that I do now, but I have a stable income that I can do them sort of as and when. And yes, I may not do. I think YouTube and Twitch is something that I can easily do as much as I am now as for the rest of my life, pretty much. But freelance graphic design may be something that may take a small step back. It's not that I don't want to do it. It's more that I would probably want to get myself into a position where I can do all of these things while in a full-time job. I don't really know what I want to go into for the full-time job. I'm currently applying for jobs, but I'm very motivated to getting myself out of this, at the minute anyway, getting myself out of this this part-time job and into another one, because I've got, I don't know, my work ethic I think is good. I've never touch on, knock on wood, I've never really had a bad, I don't think I've had a bad sort of I don't really know the best way to describe it. I've never had a bad with an employee that I've worked for. I don't think I've left a bad impression. I honestly, every workplace that I've left, I honestly feel like everyone in those workplaces did like me, and I think I was a good worker. I'm definitely when I'm at work, when I'm at my part-time job, I would honestly strongly say that I'm probably one of the hardest workers. I'm one that once I'm at work, that's nothing else matters to me. It's I'm working. This is what I'm doing. I'm going to do this to the best of my ability. It doesn't matter if I don't enjoy this job particularly. This is something that I want to do to the best of my ability, because you never know where that's going to lead, and you never know who might be watching. You never know who you might be impressing, and it's always something that I try to sort of live by. So, I honestly think that I don't even know where I was going with that. That's the worst bit. I don't even know where I was going with that. It just hit me then. I don't know where I was going with it. But yeah, I honestly think I can and will over the next. I've set myself a target that by my birthday, which is July the 7th, which is pretty much halfway through the year. July's midway through. Start of July anyway, and yeah, it's July the 7th, and I want to, by July the 7th, be in a full-time job. Not necessarily moved out, but I want to be in a full-time job, and then by the end of 2016, I want to have moved out. And that's for the final time. So they're two big things that I've set myself, and there were 2 New Year's resolutions that I set myself as well. But I've sort of given myself a good breathing period between the two, because of saving up, because of settling in the new job and everything like that. And yeah, that's what I want to do. So I'm motivated, and I'm looking forward to updating you guys on how it's going. I'm currently applying for jobs. A lot of jobs that I'm applying for. I've been to a couple of interviews so far. I've got a few more lined up, and hopefully have even more lined up in the near future. and I'll keep you guys updated, whether it's via vlog, whether it's via ramblings, whether it's by just tweets. I'll keep you guys updated, and I promise to let you know as and when I do leave/get another job and all of that good stuff. But yeah, July the 7th, I'm looking to be, that's my goal for me. By my birthday, I want to be out of this place and in a new full-time job. So that's that. So I've talked about the productivity and freelance side of things and what I do. Hopefully you guys have a little bit more understanding of where my income comes, what my income is, and all of that good stuff. My health, talk about my health now. Now, if you guys don't know, at the start, it was ages ago now. At the start of last season's rugby, I play rugby, played since I was 5, and I've broken many bones. I've had many injuries, but like the worst injury that I had was the most recent one, which was I tore my MCL, which is a ligament in your knee. You've got 2 ligaments that basically attach the lower part of your leg to the top part of your leg. And the most common one to tear is your ACL. You'll hear a lot of people tear the ACL. That's a very common one to do in sport. But I tore my MCL, which is the less common one. It's not worse or anything. It's just as bad. But I tore my MCL, and I luckily, and I say luckily, but I luckily only got a tier 2 tear, which means, so there's 3 tiers. There's tier, I don't know, I can't remember if I think tier 3 is the lesser one and tier 1's the worst one. I was in the middle either way, so it doesn't really matter. But the worst one is the one that's a tiny, that only takes like a few weeks to recover from, is like nothing tears, and it's more like a strain of the MCL or ACL. They're the ones you want to get if you want to get injured. And nobody wants to get injured, but like if you were to get, like, I don't know, do something to your ACL or MCL, you just want to pull it, and badly like pull it, sort of thing. I actually got a tier 2, which is it tore but didn't completely tear. So like half of my MCL tore, and basically ripped open. And the worst one is being a tier 1 or tier 3, whichever one's the worst. I can't remember which. But the worst one is, let's say it's tier 1, is it completely tears. Like there's no connection there in your ligament. And that always, every single time requires surgery. Luckily, I did not. Sometimes tier 2 tears require surgery as well if it's quite a bad tear. Mine, I don't think it was as bad as it could have been. I was very lucky. But I was out for the full season. It started, I think I did it November last year of 2015. Not 2015, it was November 2014, and I was out until the summer. So I was out for the rest of the season until summer 2015, and when we started preseason training, and it felt fine. And then I pulled the MCL again, and I didn't tear it again, I just pulled it. But it was the same leg, it was the same ligament, and I pulled it at the start of the season. I think it was the second game in. I turned too quickly. I did like a little jolt, and I just knew the same pain happened, and I honestly thought I'd tore it again. Luckily I hadn't, but I don't think I had enough time off before I started summer training. I don't think I basically should have. The physio and doctors said that I probably shouldn't have taken part in summer training. So I was a bit stupid there in how I did that. And they've advised me this time, when I did that 2 games in, that basically now I have to take the full season off. So I'm taking it upon myself to do that, and taking the full season off rugby. So my health has a little bit suffered because I'm not training and as much as I would. But I'm now at the point, because that was obviously the last year, 2015, that was September time. So yeah, it's been ages, and it was only a pull, so it was only supposed to be like a month off or something. But I'm basically off now until the summer. I'm not playing rugby all of this season pretty much, and I'm going to be playing rugby next year. But as of I basically started exercise again. I'm allowed to start exercise again at the start of January, and I've now got to the point now where I've actually now at this very moment in time, as I record this, or I would say probably about 2-3 weeks ago, or it may have been a bit longer actually. It may have been about a month ago. I was at the heaviest weight I've ever been, which was, I think it was like 185 pounds. And I know a lot of people may not think that's a bad thing, and it's honestly not. Like I think I was probably classed as like a little bit overweight, but I don't know if I was classed as I don't really know. But I've never been 185 pounds. I've only ever been in the 180 pounds area once in my life, and that was when I started university. And most people do that when you start university. You start eating rubbish and you think it's not going to affect you. And 3 months into university, you've put on 20 pounds and you're like, oh crap, I need to get to the gym. A lot of people do that at university, and that's just the university lifestyle hitting you in the face. But I've now got to the point where I can train again, and my health is slowly improving. I'm noticing that I need less sleep. I'm noticing that I feel more awake during the day. I notice that I don't know, just generally everything about me seems a lot better now, which is good. I'm slowly losing weight again, and I'm getting back to, slowly but surely, getting back to where I was before. And hopefully by the time it gets to summer training, all the weight is gone that I wanted to lose, and I'm back to the point where I can start properly rugby training again. But my health is getting there. I am slowly getting back to where I was. It's a long, slow journey, because I'm really, really strict on not pushing myself too sort of far too early, because I really don't want this to happen again. Because if this happens again, it could be like, if I don't want to say it, but like, if I tear my MCL again, this same MCL, this same ligament, the odds are it's you quit playing rugby now. And I'm 23. I should not be contemplating retirement from a sport that I've spent so much of my life playing since I was 5, a rugby club that I love so much. It's not something that I want to stop now, especially at the age of 23. So I'm really trying to not push myself too much, but I'm slowly getting there. And yes, it's good. The interval training is going well at the minute. I'm currently in a regime of basically daily interval training. As you guys actually see, no. What day is this going up? Let me just double check. This goes up, so this goes up a week to the day. So I'm recording this last Monday. So you guys are seeing this on a Monday. I'm recording this a previous Monday. And today marks the first day of the daily. I've been doing, I think I started off at 3, I went to 4, and now I'm jumping up to 7 days a week of daily interval training for the next month. So for the next month, every single day, I'm going to do daily interval training, which is very intense stuff, but I'm only doing very small bits of it to start off with anyway, and then it's going to slowly build up to quite intense stuff. And hopefully this is like the last, this will really help me be a lot more confident in myself, my appearance and everything like that, because interval training is really good for sort of like losing weight and feeling healthier and feeling more productive and stuff. So it's going to help me a lot in the long run. So like already I noted it, because like I've already done my interval training today. I woke up this morning at 6:30 and went and did it. Started my day at 7:30 once I'd been back, had a shower and everything. And I honestly, this is one of the most productive days I've had so far of 2016. And it's because I know that now is the start of the real work with my health. So I'm really looking forward to. So if you guys have made it this far, ask me how it's going. Ask if I've missed a day this week. If I have, I'll let you know. But ask me in the comments if you are hearing this. Say, have you trained every day for the last 7 days? Have you done your interval training for the last 7 days? Like, just ask me and I will reply to you guys. So yeah, let me know, and hopefully you guys have enjoyed this rambling. It's been a definitely a rambling. I feel like I've rambled a lot, a hell of a lot. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed me talking about all of my incomes, all of my the productivity that I have for for changing a few things in my life at the minute, and the health and fitness side of me at the minute. And hopefully you guys are enjoying this series, because I'm really enjoying recording it. And if you guys are, please, it would mean a lot if you dropped this video a like, if you dropped a comment, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and as always, I'll speak to you all soon. Take care.